Well, alright everybody, now that we're back at the shop, let's go warp speed with this thing, get it unboxed, get everything ready to set up, and we'll get started. Well, alright, now that we got everything laid out, I want to go over everything that came in the box and then the stuff we added, and is going to be, this right here is going to definitely be necessary to install the winch on your machine. But they did give you a fair amount of wire, which I thought was really nice, and they also gave you new crimps and ends to put on there, along with your bolt kit, your hook, your strap, your fair lead, winch, wireless remote, and your switch box right there, and your switch cable and switch. This bracket, I know for the machine we're putting it in, is scrap, and you know, you might as well hold on to it, you never know. But the things we did add on to it is we did get a Badlands wide mouth hook. As you can see, compared to the one that came with it, that's pretty much a huge difference. And I don't remember what the weight rating was on that, but I know it is well within what I need for the machine. And they actually do give you a better strap than the one that came from SuperATV. But that's alright, I'm going to use that for a keychain and use the better strap. And we did get a nice hefty D-ring and a snatch block and the mounting kit for the RZR. But now that we went over all that, let me go ahead and set up this machine and we'll get started on the install. Alright, so first things first, we're going to be removing the windshield, the top half of the dashboard, the hood. I'm pretty sure that both these sides got to come off. The grill's got to come off, this has got to come off. We're going to take the front wheels off because right here is where the winch gets mounted. So let's go ahead and knock that out.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Well, alright, I do stand corrected. I didn't have to take this panel off. Removing the dashboard and the hood gave me plenty enough room to do my wiring, mount my winch switch and stuff like that. But let's get installing the fair lead. First thing you're going to want to do is take out these 4 bolts right here. And then you got your bracket. You're going to install that one. And now we're going to take the next one. We're going to install that up on there. And then this one. Give it the old ugga-dugga. And then the next thing we're going to be installing with the Allens is the fair lead, where it is your Allen, then a regular washer, your lock washer, and then a nut. So grab the other one, stick that right there. Don't do too much at once. Where'd it go? There we go. Trying to get that other washer on there. And then that nut. Swap out the socket. Give that the old ugga-dugga too. Which that side I didn't have to. Alright. So now that the fair lead's on there, we're now going to install our cover plate, which is going to be an 8mm, a washer, and a lock nut to the top two. And then let's do the other one. So that one's going to go there, and put that side together. And then you will be reusing the 2 factory screws that come with it, which those just go right there. So that's that one, and now got 8mm and a 10. Let's just tighten that up. And this side. Alright, I do want to apologize about that. My battery literally timed out right as I hit that last bolt. But as you can see, the 2 8mm there. You got the Allens there, and then your 2 brackets behind there. And then the 2 stock, let me give you some light here. The 2 stock bolts there. This piece now goes into your spare bin, and then reinstall your grill. So, now that I got that, let's move on to the next step. Well, alright, the next thing we're going to be installing is the plate, and to do that, it's going to go in here. But what I have found is, let me set this up here, is if we remove this shock, we can go ahead and zip tie that up and get that up out of our way. So let's go ahead and take that loose real quick. Oop, wrong way. Alright. So, take that loose. We're just going to swing that shock up. I'm going to take a zip tie right here and fish it up over top the frame. And if I can get it to stay, but I'm trying to make this so you guys can see everything I'm doing here. Wish I had a longer zip tie at this point. There we go. So, now that that's zip tied up out of our way, frees up a lot of space. We're going to be mounting the bracket right in here. It's going to go in this hole right here and these 2 holes right there. So let's go ahead and get this so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Oop. And there we go. And lock this down in place. And now I'm going to take the bracket and just slide it up in there, just like so. And if you look at the bolts, they are etched and squared just like the back of the frame here. So we're going to take that bolt and we're going to slide that in there. One washer and 1 nut. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through putting these other bolts on there, so I'm not burning up the video with doing this, and then we'll get started on the winch when I get done that. Alright guys, I threw the winch in. I just didn't want to prolong the video with 4 bolts that, you know, were pretty easy to put in. But I did want to point out some things that I found after I installed the winch to point out to you guys that I'm absolutely not happy with. And I will be coming up with a correction. I think I'm going to get some wire loom or something like that to wrap around the hoses. But if you look here, you can see that the radiator hose literally lays dead smack across the top of it, and it pushed the hose up to the point where it was rubbing on the shock. So what I did was I took 2 zip ties and just did it to the radiator shroud here, just to stop it from bouncing around and going into the shock. And on this side, you can see, look, it just lays right across the top of that. Like, I do not like that at all. So I will be getting some fat wire loom to put there, some hose guard. I don't like it sitting on this frame here. Like, how they have radiator hoses ran on this thing is absolutely horrible. Like, this one right here lays right across the top of the block, and you can see where I put the hose loom, or the wire loom right there, because I do not like stuff like that. But let's get on to the most important part, and that's the wiring. So let me get everything together and we'll get on that. So now that we're about to start the electrical portion of it, I've went ahead and removed the driver's seat. We are going to go ahead and disconnect the negative terminal off the battery to ensure that we don't have any arcing and there's no chance that we could pop fuses or create a backfeed into the PCM or anything like that. So now that we've got that taken care of, we'll go ahead and move on to the wiring. The next thing we're going to be installing is the switch box. I am going to be putting it up underneath the dashboard right there, just for easy access, because the wiring is going to come straight through that slot in the firewall and come right up. I figured that's nice, easy access. I can get to all the things. And right here, you can see I've already went ahead and just marked it up with a Sharpie marker and drilled my 2 holes, which all this right here will be covered up by the dashboard. You won't actually see that when I'm done, but let me go ahead and fast forward this and get this installed. Well, alright, now that we got the switch box installed, it's got the lead for the remote switch that goes in your poverty switches, and then I do like how they have color code this: yellow, red, black, and blue. So, but some things I did want to add on to the video that I didn't initially talk about because I didn't feel like I was going to have to do it and wire it that away, but I did end up having to buy the 3-pin connectors for the pulse bar. You can see this one, I've already set it up for the buzz bar that I did order separately, because you do have the lead for the pretty much turn the switch box on and off. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to be installing a USB port charger for the phones and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started on putting in this buzz bar here. So the first thing is I know some models come with it, mine did not, so we're just going to go ahead and throw that in there, and that way it gives me access to be able to install things later on, such as the light bar, the rear backup lights, and the rock lights, stuff like that, whips and stuff like that. So let me change out my socket here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take all these off here. They do not give you the nuts and the washers with these, so you're going to have to get those from Home Depot. But let me go ahead and take them off. I doubled it up. I shouldn't have done that, but I just figured for informational purposes, I make sure that you guys seen everything that I am doing. Like I said, the nuts and the washers do not come with that. But we're going to go ahead and grab the connector. You can see I've already crimped on the eyelets on there and shrink wrapped it just to make the video go along a little bit quicker. And then we're going to take the courtesy waterproof plug out of there and just connect straight into the pulse bar. And then down here you can see it's labeled accessories, ground, and the battery. And then you have your ground wire there. Oop. And then bring this over for your accessories. And then obviously your power. So let's go back over here. I'm going to set these down for a second. And we're going to go ahead and grab the switch and the USB charging ports. So we're going to go ahead and come around here. We are going to go ahead and stick it in this slot and this slot and get rid of some of those poverties. And we're going to go ahead and fish this straight in. So that's, it just clips into place, and then it's got your nice USBs. That's kind of nice. And then this one is a little bit more. You can see that red lead wire there that you're going to have to wire up here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and pull all this through. And then your winch switch up and down. And is it going to go in the slot? Knock one of the poverty slots out. There we go. Let me go ahead and put that back in while I'm sitting here. So now that we got all that pulled out, we're going to go ahead and wire all that up. I do want to apologize for all the cutting and stitching I do have to do with these videos. Kind of hard when you don't really have a cameraman. And some of these videos are getting kind of technical, and I'm trying to do my best to give you all the information that I possibly can. There's your power, which I won't use right now. My ground. And that's the wire for the winch. And then what we are going to do, and I am going to be going back at a later time and wire looming all this stuff, but for right this second, just not going to happen. Go ahead and this trash. And like I said, I am trying to make these videos so you guys can see what I'm doing, and for the most part, you know, get the gist of everything going on. And I do appreciate it if you guys, when you guys stick around and you guys watch the full videos. It does help out the channel a lot, and you know, just lets me know that I'm helping somebody out there. No, I don't make no money doing this. I really do do this as a hobby, just to try and bring you guys, you know, a little bit of information. Light it up, fire it up. Hit that shrink wrap. Try not to burn my fingers. Or melt the wires, for that matter. But the shrink wrap definitely does make it look a little nicer than just slapping it together. I like perfection, and definitely don't want any fire hazards. So now that I got that, we are going to go ahead and stick that straight on the pulse bar and put down the washer. Oh no, and I just dropped the washer. So let me go ahead and try and find this washer, and we'll pick back up after I get this tightened down. Well, okay, since I've took the time to go ahead and find that washer, I went ahead and wire loomed all my stuff and cleaned up and zip tied and placed all my wires nice and neat and out of the places where they could be rubbed. But the next thing we're going to be moving on to is mocking up the power and ground cables for the winch. They are going to have to be trimmed down and stuff, so let's mock that up. Alright guys, I know you're about ready to go start installing yours, and I just went ahead and finished up the power wiring. I did come off this positive thing here, came across through the firewall. I got everything all zip tied up. All my major power cables have been wire loomed, brought it down at the firewall down. I did come up underneath the brake cable into the two connectors. So now that I got that done, let's get this thing outside and give it a whirl. Alright guys, just for video purposes, we're out here in the forest. I got my tree saver, my D-ring, my snatch block, running back to the side by side. We're gonna pull this thing up out of here. Alright, let's try this out. Slowly but surely it's pulling. Slowly but surely, it's not a rush thing, but now that we checked that out, I hope you guys are liking all the videos, and if you haven't been here before, do me a favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and until next time, you guys stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.